Welcome to the podcast where you eavesdrop into conversations between my friends and I on a weekly basis. My name is Lily Jo. I'm a singer, songwriter, and I perform shows all over the world. I'm a qualified counsellor and an emotional well-being coach. You can also check out my award-winning online mental health resource, The Lily Jo Project. I know you will find gems of wisdom within the conversations that I have with my friends. Hopefully you will find tools and resources that you can hold on to, try and test for yourself, all around the important subject of mental health and personal development. I am so pleased to welcome you to today's episode of Eavesdrop. Today I'm at home and in conversation with my amazing husband and fellow singer-songwriter. It's Dave Fidler! I talk with Dave about his struggles with writer's block, how overcoming his challenges inspired his latest album. We also get the chance to share a bit more about our life together as a family, what touring is like, how we both choose to tune out negativity and tune into positivity in order to live balanced and creative lives, doing what we love. You might even hear Nico in the background. Grab a brew, stay tuned, and you are welcome to Season 2, Episode 10, the final episode of this season. It's Eavesdrop. So I'm joined on the podcast today by my wonderful other half, Dave Fidler. He's in the middle of bedtime routines with Nico.
Hello.
Hi.
Say hi, Nico.
Hi.
We've actually only got one child this week because the other child is on a residential, and it's actually so much easier with one, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
It is actually really nice having just you, baby.
Woo.
So Dave is a singer-songwriter, for those of you who don't know, and he travels... I'm going to leave the room for a minute. He travels... Oh, I love my mum and dad's songs. That was Nico. And he travels all over the UK, performing, singing, songwriting, sharing his songs with audiences of up to like 300 to 500 people a night. And Dave spent last summer writing a song every day, and he wrote 31 songs in the month of August, which are all pretty good songs, and they are going to be released in April of this year. And the album is called Songs from Aurora, and Aurora is our caravan. How much fun do we have in our caravan?
Good.
But it looks like a grandma's house, doesn't it? Our caravan. It's very old, but it was given to us by a fellow singer-songwriter, Emma Mould, who, shout out to you, Emma, for the caravan. What a kind thing to do for us as a family, give us a caravan. So cool, isn't it? Dave.
Yes.
The album.
Yeah. Tell
the listeners all about it.
Well, you've just mentioned that it was written on the Song a Day challenge in August, which was inspired by a book called Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert, and also a friend of ours, Debbie Wattis.
Debbie Wattis!
Who, she's an artist, and she documented a weight loss journey by drawing a picture every day for 365 days, and now she's releasing a book with 365 diary entries and drawings in, which I think is an amazing idea. So after reading Big Magic, which is all about creativity being a thing that surrounds us that we can just turn up to and tune into, I thought that would be a great idea to do it a song a day. And it unlocked something in me as a songwriter.
Because you were struggling a little bit with writer's block at the time, but showing up every day, turning up for your art, unlocked something in you.
Yeah.
What would you say to anyone out there who is feeling the same way you did?
I think mindset is everything when it comes to creativity. So if you put too much pressure on yourself to create, or you have to depend on the creativity to pay your wage in some way or whatever, it'd be a really good idea to take the pressure off for a while and just show up for the love of it. And give yourself a challenge like I did on that Song a Day, where you have to finish something in a day. And then it's done, because half of my problem when I thought I had a writer's block, it was because I'm a perfectionist like a lot of other creatives, and I want to make something the best it can be, which isn't a bad thing, but there's something beautiful about just having something finished in a day and put out. And when you come back to it, generally, you think that might be a throwaway idea, and I came back to some of those ideas that I didn't think were so good, and they made my album, because there's something beautiful in just creating and leaving it at that in a day.
Amazing. So good. So tell us about your tour coming up in April.
Yeah, so it's my first headline tour as a solo artist. So I've been in bands for a while, and then I've been touring with John from I Am Clute, which is a band from Manchester, John Bramwell, and I released an album in late 2014, and I've done about 300 gigs with him since. But this is my first solo headline tour. It's only a small tour. It's a 6-date tour of the UK in some hand-picked intimate venues that I've loved playing with John, and others I've not played at all, like the Rum and Crab Shack in St Ives in Cornwall, which should be a fun night. And it starts on the 6th of April at the Eagle in Salford.
Brilliant. And we can put all the links and all the dates down in the description box, so everyone can buy a ticket.
Everyone.
Yes.
No, everyone.
Are you going to get a ticket, Nico?
Yeah.
What's your favourite song of Dad's?
Skylark.
Is it actually?
Yeah.
So Nico features in the Skylark music video, don't you? You are the main character. How much did you enjoy seeing your baby girl on the big screen?
There's a few things about the video that I love, and well, obviously it's Nico, because her older brother is an extrovert, and she's an extrovert as well, but this is the first time she's fronted something like a video like that, and I thought it was really important for her, and she's our little Skylark now, that's what we call her.
Skylark is your new nickname, isn't it?
Yeah. And then my brother animated a Skylark to land on her shoulder, but the important thing for me about our video as well, we were originally going to shoot it up on Kinder Scout, because we love going there as a family and climbing it. Nico's been great at climbing that since she was a little girl, but
I was 2 years old.
First time she climbed it, she was 3. Actually.
4.
And then now, because of the weather, we ended up having to go to Werneth Low, which is a large hill just near where I grew up, and I used to climb it with my dad. So it was great. And actually, I'm touring with John from I Am Clute, and he grew up at the foot of Werneth Low as well. So there's something great about just doing it there. It was quite symbolic, I think, about the Skylark only calls when it's climbing, which is the line that kind of represents life as a songwriter for me, in a way, because it's about singing not just when things are going well, but also when things might not be going so well. And that's what Song a Day was. It was turning up every day, regardless of the weather, regardless of your mood, regardless of the feeling on that day, and just creating for the sake of creating. I referenced someone called Micah Purnell in that song, who's an artist and designer from Manchester.
So many shout-outs in this podcast.
he's just an inspiration, because he puts out billboards around Manchester, and they're unbranded, but they've always got a really positive message behind them. And the first one he put out was about looking to the sky every day, and the feeling of positivity through doing that. And I've referenced him in that song because it's about a Skylark and only calling when it's climbing and all this kind of stuff. So there you go, there's the backing vocal from Nico.
Great. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk a little bit more about Dave and his journey to where he is today. Season 2 of Eavesdrop is kindly sponsored by Mediconf. Mediconf promote excellence in health education throughout the UK. For more information on Mediconf, go to mediconf.co.uk. Please find the links in the description box below. So Dave, talk to me. I know that I already know, because I know everything about you. No, Dave and I have been together for a long time, and I remember saying to Dave when we were dating or courting, what do you want to be when you grow up? And he said, a rock star. And I said, what's your plan B? And he said, never ask me that again. So I never have asked him that again.
No, you haven't.
And he's very much on his track for plan A, aren't you?
Yeah, I think you followed it up with a question though. Okay, so who do you want to be as big as?
I did follow it up with that question. Who do you want to be as big as? Because at the time, Coldplay were pretty big. And you were like, I want to be as big as a band from Manchester called I Am Clute, who've got like a cult following. And then 10 years on?
Yeah.
Longer than 10 years on.
Maybe more than 10 years, yeah.
Dave was playing an intimate solo gig at the Manchester Food and Drink Festival all his band had ditched him because they were ill and he had to turn up and play. And I actually am ashamed to admit that I was like, oh, do you really have to do the gig? Can't you just cancel? Like, it's Sunday afternoon. And then Dave was like, no, I need to fulfil my commitment. So he went, turned up to Manchester Food and Drink, played a set on his own. Who was in the crowd? John Bramwell from I Am Clute. And asked Dave, what are you doing next January? Because I'm going on tour and I'd love you to be my special guest. And so the rest is history. So I think it's a really powerful story of setting a goal, sticking with that goal and working really hard to achieve it and not being sidelined by anything else. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel like if you don't have a plan B and the only route is plan A, and you've visualised yourself there doing plan A all your life, then it's a lot easier to achieve plan A and not get caught up in what everyone else is doing and sidetracked from what the original plan was. But you've got to check in from time to time because your plan can change. So what was my plan when I was 16 or 18 might not be my plan now, but as long as you're in tune with what you really love and what you want to do and you're aiming to do it in the best way possible, I think anything is possible.
You are unstoppable.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So yeah, meeting John at the Food and Drink Festival, he asked me to do 10 dates with him initially, and now 5 years on, I've done over 350 dates with him. I'm recording his stuff in my studio at the moment and working with him. I'm part of his new band, the Full Harmonic Convergence. He's a big fan of my music. He's championed my music from the day we met, and he's constantly been a sounding board for me about creativity, which is a really valuable thing when you are a creative, to have someone as authentic as John, who cares about artistic integrity and being authentic to yourself as a sounding board. I think it's steered my direction as a songwriter as well.
You're explaining yourself very beautifully. So what's it like living with Lily Joe? You can be honest.
Do you know what? Actually, it's amazing because Lily Joe is Lily Joe is very understanding about other artists and other people. So it's actually really good.
What, so, basically let you do what you want?
Well, no, you're very tolerant. You're very, very tolerant to someone that goes on tour and cares about music. And I think you understand exactly where I'm at, which is great. And I think having a wife that is understanding of that and not smothering is amazing. And I feel like we're good for each other in that respect. I feel like I understand you when you go on tour as well. And the busy lifestyle, I feel like it's fun. It's loads of fun.
Recently, we've been asked a few times, what is it like to be two artists in one relationship? And it's worked out okay so far because it's been like ebbs and flows in both careers, hasn't it? So sometimes you're going full out, sometimes I'm going full out. We've not really hit that point where we're both going full out at the same time.
We're coming up to it though. I mean, we're both going on tour together soon, aren't we? Yeah,
we are. Oh, shall we announce that, or should we keep that a secret? I think we should keep that a secret for this podcast. But we are going on tour together soon, and it is very exciting, isn't it?
All we can say is it's not in this country.
Yes, we are travelling in a big way for the first couple of weeks in June. So stay tuned to find out more about that.
I feel like being married to Lily Joe, I have an unnecessary amount of laughter in my life. But I'm not complaining about that. Our kids both laugh as well a lot, don't they?
Yeah, so. Well, my maiden name means laughter.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that kind of helps. Somehow it's been spoken over my life a lot. So living with Dave, I'm going to ask myself the question. Living with Dave is an adventure. I think that's the best way to describe it, actually, because you never know whether he's coming or going. But when he's here at home, it makes me very happy. Living with you, there's always something exciting that you come home with. You always come home with good news, exciting news. You've always achieved something new. You're really productive all the time, and it really inspires me to keep going and being productive. And I don't actually know if I'd be doing what I'm doing without being married to you, because it's like having a business coach not 24/7 because we don't see each other that much, but I can constantly check in with my business coach. Is that weird?
No, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. I don't know if most relationships have that, though, so I don't know. Why don't you let us know in the Facebook group whether it's weird to have two people in a relationship that basically coach each other? It's interesting, isn't it? But I feel like it's always an adventure. There's always something exciting. There's always something new. Talk to people out there listening about what's coming up with your business, because Dave also runs a business. It's called Front Row Music, and it's basically teaching kids how to play musical instruments, so ukulele, guitar and keyboards. We've had some exciting news recently, haven't we?
Yes. So I started the company 9 years ago, and as a limited company, and it's grown from me teaching a handful of kids in a few schools how to play guitar and ukulele to teaching 3,500 children each week. We got 10 different locations around the UK now that we teach in, and we've just launched in Cape Town in South Africa. And we've recently been approached by the government for a cross-party article called the Parliamentary Review. And they approached 60 companies that are best practice representatives, so best practice representatives in their field each year. And they've approached Front Row Music to be one of them this year. So we've got a couple of 1,000-word review over 3 pages in the Parliamentary Review, and it goes out to over 500,000 people within our industry. So really excited about that, and actually just thrilled to be part of it, that they've approached us. It's a real achievement for us as a company.
And I'm really excited because I get to join you at the Houses of Parliament for dinner.
You do.
What would you say to anyone out there who's thinking of starting their own business or going self-employed, but they're just like, oh, it's too risky, I'm not sure I could do it?
Everyone around you that is scared about that kind of thing will tell you not to do it, or tell you the reasons why you shouldn't do it. And I'd say don't listen. If it's something that you love and you absolutely love it and you've got a passion for it, and something's burning that you should do it, then you need to go out and seek people out that are going to big you up and tell you that you can do things, and start telling yourself that you can do it, and take the leap of faith. There's never a good time to start changing your life around. There's never a good time. And I had an event happen in my life that made me realise how short life was. And the only reason I quit my job at the time, working for a property company, and started doing what I loved. I'm so glad I did it, because I'd be in a very different place now if I hadn't. And it was the worst time possible. We just had our first child, Dylan, and we really needed solid income. And I went to teaching 1 or 2 children a week, driving round, spending almost as much as I was getting from them in fuel, just to start the business. Having unwavering faith and being determined and putting in some hard work, it really works. And half of it is just believing in yourself and doing that.
Taking the limitations off.
Yeah.
So looking at what are the negative limiting beliefs, and then thinking, well, what's the fair and realistic thought here?
Yeah.
Actually, what are the pros and how much value do I place on those pros? And what are the cons and how much value do I place on those? And actually weighing it up properly and going, do you know what? It's worth a shot.
Yeah, but I think being unrealistically positive is a great thing. So I do think being unrealistically positive is amazing. You look at people like the Wright brothers, and it's ridiculous to think that they would have bent a sheet of metal and flown it, or whatever it is, aviation or electricity or anything. It's all unrealistic kind of ideas, but these people that are pushing the boundaries are thinking differently to everyone else. So what seems unrealistic to other people might not be at all, and it takes someone that's a bit of a visionary to do that and follow that, and you might be seen as being a bit insane for taking that leap. But I mean, as long as you're not harming yourself through doing it, or think you're not getting into massive debt, or what I've always thought is, what's the worst that can happen through this? And if it is that you tried it and it didn't succeed, and it's not going to make your life any worse, and you can actually go on and carry on living, then what have you got to lose, really?
Absolutely, that's amazing. Well, I'm sure the listeners can take away something from today's episode. I hope you've enjoyed hearing from my amazing husband, Dave Fidler, today on the episode. Make sure you check out his website, davefidler.com. Make sure you follow him on Instagram and Facebook. How do we find you on Instagram and Facebook?
Dave Fid on Instagram, so just FID, and
link to
it's all on davefidler.com.
davefidler.com. Thank you so much. Love you. Give us a kiss. On the podcast, we cover a range of sensitive topics and perspectives. Some of the points raised in this episode you may strongly agree with or strongly disagree with. I want to know who you are and what you think. Last season we had so many downloads, but we don't know who you are. I want to get to know you. I really want to hear your thoughts and continue the conversation, and that's why I've created a brand new Facebook group. You can find the link to the group in the podcast description, or you can search for Lily Jo Presents Eavesdrop on Facebook. On joining the group, we would like you to fill out a very short questionnaire, and in return, you will be entered into our competition for a chance to win some Lily Jo merchandise, plus a day in the studio with us as we record season 3 of Eavesdrop. The winner will be announced on Friday, the 22nd of March, so don't miss out on this opportunity to connect in this way. I am so excited to get to know you. I will see you in the group. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please be sure to subscribe, and if you're feeling generous, why not share with your friends? Please check the description box below for extra links and further information to some of the topics discussed in today's episode. Also, you'll find information about what's coming next. For further information, top tips and advice on all kinds of mental health issues, including low mood, anxiety, self-harm, eating disorders and more, please do check out www.thelilyjoproject.com. You can find my music across all digital platforms, including Spotify and iTunes. See you next time. Throughout 2019 and 2020, I will be touring high schools across the UK and Europe with my Let's Talk About Mental Health interactive and fun workshop. 75% of those with a mental health condition start developing it before the age of 18. That's why I believe it's so important to let young people know what to do if they are struggling with a mental health condition and how to maintain good mental health. If you would like me to lead this workshop at your school, please do get in touch. Email us, admin@thelilyjoproject.com, or why not check out our schools pack, which is www.thelilyjoproject.com/schools. We can't wait to meet you. Are you feeling stuck? Do you need a little help to get your life back on track? Do you have big dreams but don't know where to start? Why not book a session with me where we can explore together your dreams and turn them into a reality? I offer life coaching to individuals through my Unstoppable Life Coaching business. Why not find a link in the description box below and book today? And don't forget to use the unique discount code Eavesdrop for an extra 10% off. Are you looking for an interactive workshop on how to overcome low self-esteem for your next festival, youth event or schools workshop? Why not book me, Lily Jo, to lead my brand new I Am Worthy workshop where I teach best practices on how to overcome low self-esteem. This workshop is not just for girls, but it's for your guys as well. Find a link in the description box below to book today, and don't forget to use the unique discount code Eavesdrop for 10% off.